Big shout out to Artlist for sponsoring today's video. All the clips in this video were graded with Artlist's new premium LUTs. More on them in a bit. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to one of my favorite markets here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. This is the Chinatown market in downtown. It is absolutely popping in the morning. Everyone's setting up for the day. It's a really exciting time to be here. And for those of you that don't know, I used to live in Chiang Mai full time. I lived here for 4 years when I was just out of grad school working for an NGO. And then 4 years ago, I moved to Bali, but now I split my time between Chiang Mai and Bali about 6 months out of every year. But even when I was living here in Chiang Mai full time, I hardly ever came out here to shoot. This just wasn't something that I photographed at the time. I would either travel somewhere to go shoot, or I would shoot portraits, or I always had some sort of a category that I was shooting. But as I've gotten older as a photographer, I find that I'm a lot more drawn to these simple everyday scenes in this city or in any city for that matter. And in this video, I want to talk about why that is, why my style has changed so much, and also what draws me to photography at this point in my career. But before we do that, I want to get shooting a little bit. It's a beautiful morning. There's a lot happening and I don't want to miss it. So let's take some photos. I love this scene so much. The leading lines leading off into the distance, and it's backlit as well. So we're getting some really nice light on the backs of these people as they're driving that way and people walking across the road. So super, super interesting scene right here. And I'm just kind of spending some time shooting this with the 24-70 at 70 millimeters, getting a little bit of compression in there. Really, really cool scene. Now I'm shooting with a 24-70. Usually I'm shooting with my 35, but I needed a little bit wider of a focal length for this shot. So I'm shooting at about 28, 24, give or take, in and around that area, and just kind of waiting for the right moment. I find that I've just been rushing a little bit too much. So I'm going to sit here and wait and see if somebody interesting walks by. I love this composition. The leading lines, this line in the ceiling here, the rooftop, this really cool sign. I'm just waiting for that perfect subject, and I know that if I leave, oh, that was the perfect subject. Come on, bro. Buddy cop, that would have been epic. Still got a photo of him, but bro, this mustache is getting a little bit out of control. I've never had a mustache before. It is getting a little bit bushy, but I'm here for it. Anyways, as you can see, I might be a little bit tired, and that's because I've been pretty much shooting at that market every day this week. Every morning I've been going out at sunrise and just being on the streets looking for interesting things, and not going out searching for a specific composition or a specific shot, but just kind of paying attention and being present and finding things to shoot while I'm out there. And I found that I've really started to enjoy this style of photography so much more than my old style of photography. When I was taking a look at my Instagram and looking at some of my older images, I would consider a lot of those images to be banger photos, right? Photos where you look at them and you think, wow, like that's amazing. And I remember I used to look at those photos and I would get that reaction. I would be surprised and amazed by looking at these photos. But nowadays, when I see these images, I don't necessarily feel the same way. And I think the main reason for that is because these images are a dime a dozen these days. You know, you go on Instagram and all you see are these incredible banger images from all around the world, you know, these picturesque, perfect landscapes where everything is dialed in. And don't get me wrong, those are great photos, and I still do enjoy shooting and seeing those photos from time to time. But at this point in my career, what really surprises me is when someone goes out and they find something that most people would overlook, a simple scene, a boring scene, and they capture it in a beautiful way. And that is something that I've really been drawn to, not only in other people's works, but in my work as well. But on top of that, in my experience, the process of shooting these types of images is completely different than the way I used to shoot as well, right? In the past, I would do a ton of research. I would find this perfect photography location. I would go there at the right time. I would look at the direction of the sun, make sure I was getting there right at the exact time to capture the best photo possible. And I did enjoy this process of photography, going out and capturing that one grand photo and maybe a few photos here or there, but I much prefer the process that I'm doing now, which is going out into these seemingly simple places and just existing on the streets, because the level of presence that I feel in these locations is next to none. I am so incredibly present in that environment. I'm looking at every little detail, and all of a sudden, almost everything around me becomes a potential subject, and I could walk around for hours searching for something that I probably would have missed in the past because I was looking for something very specific and I had tunnel vision focused on that one specific thing. So I think the process of capturing a photo is honestly just as important as the actual photo itself. You have to love the process of going out and shooting. And after shooting for so long and going through so many different stylistic changes throughout my career, I think I've settled on something that I think I'll probably shoot for the rest of my life. And that is everything. I don't call myself a street photographer. I don't call myself a landscape photographer. I call myself a photographer because I can find beautiful things absolutely anywhere. Those are the photos. The photos of the simple things are the most interesting because most people wouldn't notice them. But if you do notice them and you capture them in a beautiful way, that's something that's really difficult to do and incredibly impressive as a photographer. Now, I know some of you guys might be thinking, Sean, you're not shooting in a boring location. You're shooting in Thailand. There's nothing boring or simple about that market that you're shooting at. And yeah, you have a point, but I've also lived here for 5 years and I visit this market all the time to get food, to get groceries, to go shopping, whatever. So for me, it is a relatively boring or simple place because I go there all the time and I'm used to it, right? And I don't want this to discourage you from the main point of this video, which is you can find beautiful things to take photos of absolutely anywhere. I don't care where you're from, what city, what country, it doesn't matter. There's something cool to be found absolutely anywhere on this planet. And if you're at the point where you're feeling a little bit uninspired by your work, I think this is a great activity to do, is to go outside in your local area and shoot some photos of things that you might not have noticed before. And you know what? You might not come away with any cool photos from that shoot. On 2 of the mornings that I went out there to that market, I didn't get anything that I would consider good or interesting. But on one of the days, I captured some pretty cool photos that I really enjoy and that I am proud of. But if you fall in love with the process of going out and shooting like this and just being out on the streets, going on photo walks and shooting whatever you see, eventually you will stumble across a pretty cool scene and you'll walk away with some pretty epic photos. But I think I'm ranting a little bit here, and these are things that have been on my mind quite a bit recently. So I wanted to make this video to kind of talk it through a little bit with you guys and see what you guys think. If you guys have experienced something similar with your work, a significant shift in the style of your photography or the process of your photography, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have experienced something similar. But photography aside, I've also noticed a significant change in the style of my videos. Obviously, as a YouTuber, I shoot quite a lot of video, and thanks to today's sponsor, Artlist, my color grading process just got a hell of a lot easier. And that's because Artlist just launched over 300 premium LUTs that were crafted by expert colorists. And I don't know about you guys, but I trust an expert colorist so much more than I trust myself when it comes to color grading video. Color grading video is not like grading photos, and these LUTs have been absolutely incredible for my video workflow. Like I said in the beginning of this video, all the clips in this video were graded with Artlist's new LUTs, like this one. See how much better that looks? And while there's over 300 LUTs to choose from, Artlist makes it super easy to find the right one because you can search based on a bunch of different parameters. All you have to do is select the sample footage that best resembles your footage, and then you can filter based on the style or the tone to really nail the vibe that you're after. And you can even get more specific by filtering based on saturation, temperature, or contrast. That's exactly how I found the Bangkok and the Mumbai LUTs that I used to grade this particular video. And these LUTs also looked so sick on some of the footage that I shot in Japan, especially the shots at night. They just worked literally right out of the gate. I didn't have to make any adjustments to the footage besides just slapping on this LUT. And I can't wait to show you more of this Japan footage. It was such a great trip and I got so much good footage out there. Now these LUTs work with all major video editing softwares, whether you're editing in Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut Pro like me. Artlist really knocked it out of the park with these LUTs. They look epic and there's so many different LUTs to choose from. So if you guys want to check them out, then click the first link in the description. And if you go through that link and sign up, you'll also get access to millions of other digital assets like stock footage, sound effects, high quality royalty-free music, and even Artlist's new AI voiceover feature, which is absolutely insane. There's so many more things that you get with an Artlist subscription, and I couldn't possibly list them all in this video, but Artlist really has been one of the best investments that I've made in my creative business, and I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't yet. But thank you so much, Artlist, for sponsoring this video and being a consistent sponsor for the channel. It's keeping the content going, so it is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And also, thank you guys so much for watching until the end as well. And I really do want to hear what you guys thought about this video and some of the things that I talked about. So let me know in the comments down below and we'll chat a little bit more down there. But that's it for this one. And this is the last video that I'm going to share before Christmas. So I hope you guys have an epic holiday season and I will see you again in the new year.